students, this video will serve as an introduction to the general navigation of Joomag and how we can use this digital publisher to create some pretty dynamic looking newspapers. So with that being said, I'm in Schoology right now, and after a while you shouldn't even have to use this link. You can Google it also, but I'm going to go to the login link. And once I do, I'm going to log in with Google. We've demoed this in class, so it should be pretty straightforward. Log in with my BPS Schools one. And at the main website, we'll always want to go to the dashboard. That's the main hub for everything that you're going to do. You should have access to the DMP S1 2020 folder or collection, and this has all of the major files we're going to do for this first project. So we're going to work in the demo sandbox. That's basically, we can do anything we want with it, and it's your playground for practicing the different skills. There will be a project associated with this and a test. Okay, so the test will be basically to make sure you are well versed on how to use this system, because once we go to an actual published printed issue, we need to be very, very good with this system in order to make professional quality newspapers that we can distribute to the community. So with that being said, to get into the edit mode, you're going to see you want to go to the actual issue. I'm going to go into the 4th hour demo sandbox. 6th hour, it's exactly the same. There's a couple ways to access edit mode. You can click on this icon right here. Okay, that's the most, probably the easiest way. Or you can click here, edit content, could go directly to it. I'm going to just click here because that's the smoothest way. And you'll notice that you'll be in view mode. I'm on page 1 of 31. And you can click through and look at the different pages. The quickest way to navigate to your page, though, is hit the contents button at the corner. So there are 31 pages in this current issue, but you are to go to the one that you've been assigned, which I've already told you in class. The very last page also does show a sample layout that I've created that will show you some of the things that you should be able to do in this. So I'm actually going to open that up. I'm going to click it. And that's what it looks like from a view standpoint. But if I want to actually edit it, it actually says right here, in order to do it, edit, click here. So this prompt may show up. If it does, please make sure you enable Flash. To do that, hit Enable Flash and hit Allow. Okay? If you do not, you will not be able to use this. And those are tech issues that I will handle appropriately with each one of you. So now I'm in the edit interface, and there's one more click I have to do. You got to actually find your document again, and it's over on the left side. I'm going to actually click the edit button right here. You can also click it up at that top corner. It will prompt you with some tutorials if you want. You are going to go through some of these or demo with me. You can just close it or hit this don't show again option so it doesn't show again. So I'm going to just close it. Now, the general navigation that you need to know from this layout is basically on the left side toolbar and the right side toolbar. Okay, it's very simplistic but very powerful. Kind of if you've used Photoshop, if you use any kind of Microsoft Office publisher type of software, this is going to be very familiar. Okay, so over on the side, you're going to see your selection tool. Don't forget when you hover, okay, like over here, shape tools. When you hover, you can see that there's a control space keyboard shortcut. So for those that are a little bit more pro users or getting used to the system, whenever you hover over something, sometimes it'll have an actual keyboard shortcut that will make life easy for you to quickly switch. Like the selection tool is the most common. That's going to be V. So I can click V on my keyboard and I can quickly go to it. Or if I'm in something, say I click on this picture and I hit escape, it will also select it. So as you're going along the side, you can see there's a photo tool. That's where we're going to insert photos. There is a video tool where you can link to different YouTube, Vimeo, and other software, but primarily we're going to probably use YouTube and the first option video tool where we insert videos from our current library, and I'll show you where that is. The last option under video is also called this thing called gallery tool. If you notice right here, I have like a pseudo slideshow going. That's what the gallery tool is. It allows you to create a cool slideshow of many different photos. Very dynamic. As I'm working my way down, there is a plugin tool. This is where you can have a star rating, similar to what I have right here. Okay. There's options called a shout box and an email subscribe and also a feedback form. A shout box is basically like kind of like a social media comment system, but we're not going to use that primarily. We're going to use this right here, the feedback form, where someone can give feedback on your page, where I can give you feedback or readers can give you feedback. So that's a pretty cool feature. And as I work my way down here, we got the rotate tool and free transform. So anything that I have, like say this picture, I can click this rotate tool and be able to go ahead and rotate the object appropriately. And you can see right there, okay? I'm gonna Control Z, that means undo my last thing because I don't want to rotate it. Free transform means that I can freely grab the edges and basically adjust the shape accordingly, okay? So everything on the left side are your main creation tools, okay? For viewing, there is the zoom in and pan tool, so that's this little plus icon. The zoom in tool, okay, allows you to zoom in on something like this by hitting the left click button, and I'm using my mouse wheel to scroll between it. You can also right click and zoom in and zoom out, okay? So this allows you to have a couple options in navigating it, okay? Zoom in, zoom out, but the primary tool is right here. Pan, or the hand tool, allows you to grab your page and move it around. So if you're zoomed in and you can't see the whole page, you can quickly go to the hand tool, which is H, and just move it around and quickly access whatever it is that you want to edit. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom this out so I can see the whole thing, just like I had originally. And there we go. That looks pretty good. Okay. As I'm working my way down, eyedropper tool is something you may not necessarily use, but for those that want to know, you can click it and select different colors and change different colors. So that's a little bit more advanced. But down here, you're going to have to be very familiar with these two options here. Okay. So this is called the fill and border, or the stroke option. So fill has that little slash through it, okay, and then right below it is the stroke. That's the line borders. So if I wanted to take something, I'm going to go back to my selection tool. Say I wanted to take this box right here. You can see that it changes to red. So I can click on the color properties here and switch the fill to green. If I click on the stroke, it's currently black. I can switch it to a different color like red, and you can see it popping up here. So that's how to switch between the different colors for each property. So that's the general navigation of the left side, creation tools. On the right side, you won't have a lot that you have to do on the right side, but you will want to know the library. That's the folder, manila folder icon. In here, you're going to see the DMP practice files and DMP S1 photos for 4th and 6th hour. This is where we're going to insert all of our major photos. Think of this as your library repository for different files. We need to house them somewhere, not on your computer. We put them in here, upload them, and use them in our documentations. I'm not going to do anything with this right now. There are a lot of old files, so don't worry about navigating them. Of course, you have access to them, so if you look inside them, you can see old pictures that we've used in past publications. So I'm going to close out of that. So the library, that's how you access and insert different things. Over here is a layers function. Layers, just like Photoshop, if you are familiar with it, allows you to put different kind of layers where you can insert things in different sections and manipulate those different sections. Most of you will probably not use layers, though if you become a little bit more advanced and want to use a cool way of organizing your layout, layers is something you can explore. And moving your way down, grids, set everything to its default, but the nice thing about grids, I'm going to show it here, show it here. You can see it gives you snapping tools and it gives you organizational tools to make sure everything is perfectly and properly aligned. You can change these grids. I'm actually going to give you the grid options that I want you to use when we go into the actual publication. But for now, the defaults are perfectly fine. Working my way down, okay, the effects tool is going to be very popular. So say I take this icon and I want to put a shadow on it. So I can click shadow and you can see that little black shadow, and you can adjust the alpha, means the transparency. You can adjust the difference. See, as I increase the difference, the distance, it goes ahead and brings the shadow out more angles, things like that. So inner glow, outer glow, opacity, and bevel. Options that you can play around with to create cool effects for some of your graphics or even your text. The rest of the stuff like linking and these page properties, you probably won't need to know. Linking, just like on a web page, allows you to create dynamic links. Because we will be working mostly with a print paper, many of the dynamic features, even the slideshow features, we probably will not use when we actually print. So the general layout, left side is to create, right side has more of the things to create your template in a more organized fashion. But most of you will have to be a little bit more familiar with the right side, okay? The last thing for this video is don't forget about the save button. You'll have to save consistently. The only thing about the save button is that when you hit save, it actually clicks you out of the edit mode. So if I hit save, it goes back to preview. So I'm gonna hit edit to go back in. It's good practice to hit that save button every few minutes, every 5 or 10 minutes, or after every major edit. So with that being said, I'm going to click save on this and exit out. This is the general layout navigation tutorial video. Feel free to watch it again as needed. After this, you're going to move on to the other tutorials that helps explain more specifically some of the different features. Okay, thank you.